If you think diving into darkness means serene waters and graceful swimming, you're missing the real horror lurking below the surface. Imagine squeezing your body through a stone tunnel that barely fits hundreds of feet underground, with water pressing from all sides, your tank scraping the cavern ceiling, your shoulders bruised from relentless stone pressure, and absolute darkness swallowing your every move, where even your hands disappear into a black void so thick it feels like you're buried alive. This is the grim reality for cave rescue divers like me. We don't glide through crystal clear waters. We crawl inch by inch through suffocating passages, drawn down into caves where amateurs and thrill seekers panic and get trapped. Sometimes tourists who mistakenly believe an unguided path is safe to follow beyond the rope's end. When they're lucky, they retreat before the nightmare begins. Unlucky ones, I am called in to bring them back, or try to. Now, before we dive deeper into this harrowing tale, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. Your support means everything in spreading stories from the edge of fear and survival. Let's get into the depths. I've witnessed grown men claw desperately at their masks, tearing away regulators because they believed they were drowning, though their tanks still had air. Bodies so swollen and blue they looked like drowned specters desperately screaming in silence underwater. I've wrestled with bloated bodies, wedged into fissures so narrow it took hours just to free them, while my gloves peeled skin away. Every rescue is a measured dance of breathing slowly, moving deliberately, and praying that nothing, absolutely nothing, goes wrong, because in narrow, subterranean passages, one tiny misstep often means death. But despite all these horrors, nothing prepared me for what I encountered last night. Calls came just after midnight about a missing group trapped deep in a limestone system some 30 miles outside town. Locals whisper about that cave with fear. It's not just depth that swallows people, but the way the cave itself moves, as if breathing, pulling you in and pushing you back like tides. No river feeds it, no ocean connects to it. The cave exhales and inhales. I was met by rangers looking broken, faces etched with too many lost stories. One old ranger told me the cave was literally breathing. I laughed, suspecting ductwork sounds or natural anomalies, until he explained currents shift mysteriously back and forth without any source. The unsettling truth was confirmed by static-laden distress calls from inside, voices human yet severed by stone and water. 3 voices gasped and begged, while a 4th warned sharply, "Don't bring it back out." At first, we thought delirium. Now I'm not so sure. That night, our crew was smaller. Fewer people means less risk when entering hell. Our lead commander, Harris, a former military diver with the calm composure of a seasoned predator, ran the plan. Leon, a competent yet green diver, fidgeted nervously with his gear. We all wore full-face masks fitted with radios and carried spare masks and octopus air sources to share if needed. Above, medics hovered anxiously. Harris drilled us. Stay on the guideline. Monitor oxygen and depth. If visibility drops, stop and wait. If you lose the guide, call it and regroup. We plunged in. Outside, the world vanishes. Stone swallows light and sound. My helmet scraped ceiling rock. Tank thundered against walls with every turn. Narrow tunnels forced me to push through sideways, skin grazing stone raw. My fin caught. Panic started to claw within, but I forced slow breaths, feeling the squeeze of rock like a coffin. Then something moved across my shoulders. It wasn't rock. It wasn't my team. No one was there but me in the dark. Emerging into a cavern gave a fleeting relief. Walls bore deep gouges, like metal claws dragged hard and fresh across limestone. Harris called them probably old, but logic faltered as divers never got so deep. Then rhythmic knocks echoed, not from walls but beneath me. Following the sound, I found a diver, half wedged in a fissure, skin pale, mask flooded. Jagged, deep cuts scarred his suit and gear. These were no frantic escape marks, but brutal seizures pulled him back into the abyss. I reported the first body and prepared to recover it. Then my fin was yanked hard, nothing but silt and shadows. I pushed ahead to a small air pocket cavern, no bigger than 4 feet across. Foul air thick with rot pressed in as I broke the surface with a hollow splash. Then I heard ragged breathing from the corner, wet and desperate. A faint breath fogged stone like a living presence. Hope flared as survivors sometimes cling to such pockets. Then a man appeared, pale and trembling, wedged barely able to lift his head from the stagnant water. His teeth chattered, his eyes wild and fearful, as he whispered a chilling warning. It followed us in. Don't take me back out. His delirium battle-weary, but the look in his eyes and the claw marks that bushed beneath the water screamed otherwise. I gave him my spare mask and octopus and urged him forward despite his frantic attempts to retreat. His strength waned, his thrashing became exhaustion. A rubbery brush against my side warned danger. No sign of survivors behind. Then, without warning, water erupted in silt clouds. The survivor screamed and clawed desperately for air as I grabbed him tight. My light caught glimpses of something pale, slick, and wrong sliding fast in the murk. Not fish, not diver, but an alien predator circling, hunting. Then ahead, I found Leon, his silhouette rising in the beam, mask half flooded, suit shredded with the same deep gouges, alive but worse off than I expected. The survivor panicked wildly at the sight. The knocks resumed, louder, closer, hammering in chest and mind. The water shifted with an unseen heavy presence. The survivor was pulled violently, bubbles exploding as something dragged him. I grabbed his harness, holding on desperately. My beam caught fleeting limbs bending wrong, touching stone in unnatural arcs. The knocks echoed in time with my heartbeat. We had no choice but to retreat. Visibility collapsed into a storm of silt. We moved blind with only the guideline as our anchor to the surface. The survivor's fight drained away, limp and heavy. Daylight shimmered above, but the silt behind bled red, a cloud thick with blood swirling in the cold water. The survivor's flesh was shredded, limbs torn as if pulled through a massive grinder. Shock froze me. Then a huge pale mass darted into the darkness, gone from sight, but not from terror. Lungs burning, I climbed slowly, clutching that ruined body, every moment waiting for the cave's shadow to strike again. The surface broke, and I screamed the horror into the radios. Leon was gone. Another lost, the cave alive with things that don't belong. The bodies, the blood, the gouges proved the truth. No one wanted to face. By dawn, the cave was sealed off, marked too deadly for exploration. But the worst was that Harris, the commander, followed in after Leon and vanished without a trace. No signal, no body, officially missing in action, unofficially swallowed by the cave's malevolence. Still working cave rescue, I know the dangers better than anyone. Now if I hear unexplained knocks or see fresh gouges carved into the limestone, I don't push forward. I don't call backup. I mark it a lost cause and pray in the total dark that those inside find their own path out, while whatever waits sleeps beneath the stone. Because some caves don't just swallow you, they watch you, breathe in the dark, and wait for you to bring it back out with you.